this is where it all gonna happen for now. Yeah, this is the room. This is the headquarters, or Criterion Collection Review headquarters with Nate Jackson and all that. Yeah, I'm liking this. Lighting is okay. This lamp is gonna go. You can't tell. I don't know if you can tell, but this nasty chandelier thing hangs. It was here when I got the place, and so yeah, we're gonna take that down and put in a new lamp or whatever light thing that I won't conk my head on all the time because I have to keep ducking because I'm a tall dude. But anyway, now that that's over with, I can introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am, although you might. Hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer guy here. Number 237, Smiles of a Summer Night by Ingmar Bergman. Oh dear. But I say oh dear, although with every movie I'm seeing by this dude, this is our second decent Bergman package. I mean, you can't call Scenes from a Marriage a movie, although there was the movie, but yeah, but anyway. This one wasn't bad. And it's funny just how my opinion of Bergman, because they started off with I think the problem is they started off with we or American became obsessed with the really artsy fartsy ones, basically like Seven Seal and Autumn Sonata, that's why we saw those, is because Criterion wanted to release the artsy fartsy ones, the ones that I didn't get. But there are decent films. There are movies that that Bergman did that are definitely a little more different, And now this is listed. Now they list this as a comedy, but I don't think it's hilarious, but I do think it is the most lighthearted film I've seen of Bergman yet. I mean, Wild Strawberries was light, but it still had that really existential, weird, trippy out, kind of stuff. So, yeah, I wouldn't call that a comedy, but it's definitely a little lighthearted, but this is definitely very lighthearted. I mean, the only seriousness coming in just from the situations between the characters. And there are a lot of characters, so I'll try to give you the basic plot of this. 1955, 108 minutes, black and white Swedish. So, all right, I'm gonna see if I can remember this, because I tried to get it, and I got most of it. It's a pretty simple plot. It's just a matter of remembering who's who and everybody's agenda and all that stuff. So basically, the plot is we got this guy Fredrik, who has a 19-year-old wife named Anne, and Fredrik also has a son named Henrik, who he had from another marriage. He didn't have sex with Anne because that would mean that Anne would have to have had Fredrik and Anne would have had to have sex when she was still in her mom's stomach, so which would have been pretty. Anyway, so Henrik, and then they have Henrik is in love with Anne. Anne's in love with Henrik, but they can't reveal their feelings because Anne's married to Fredrik, and so Henrik spends his time by lusting after their maid Petra, who denies his advances but still seduces him at the same time. So she's and the older maid calls her a tart, and I'm like, yeah, she's a freaking tart. What the hell? It's like he kisses her and she slaps him, and then she holds her breasts out, and I'm like, what the hell, woman? Jeez. So anyway, Fredrik and Anne go to the movies or the theater, and they find out that Fredrik, the lead actress, whose name is Desiree and Fredrik used to have a relationship, had a small relationship before he married Anne. And so when he finds out that they're there, when she finds out that he's in the audience, she starts flirting with him, and he ends up actually saying her name out loud while they're sleeping. They take a nap, and he starts caressing Anne, and Anne hears him say Desiree instead of Anne, And so she gets all pissed off, and at first she's doesn't want to go, but then she goes, and she ends up not feeling well, so they leave early. And when she gets home, he puts her to bed, and he goes back out to see Desiree, and he says, hi to her, and he walks her back home. And while he goes in, he falls into a puddle, and that's the funniest thing I've seen. The funniest thing I've seen in a Bergman movie yet is she says, "Watch the puddle," and Frederick falls into the puddle, and he's like, it's doing my traditional trombone, that kind of thing. So anyway, so Desiree gives Frederick her lover's clothes. Her lover's the Count. I forget his name. I'm gonna look his name up. Count something Malcolm. We're gonna call him Malcolm. Count Carl Magnus Malcolm. Yeah, and who's a soldier who's away, and they try to so Desiree and Frederick are talking, and they basically and Frederick sees her son, and he freaks out because she's also named him Frederick, and so it's not implied. It's not explicitly said, but I think you're supposed to say that, oh, this is it's Frederick's son. They had sex, and she's raising the son and all that. And it would make sense because he's a little kid, and you figure the time it was between their relationship and his marriage to Anne, you figure, well, the pieces fit a little too well together. So anyway, Malcolm comes home, the Count comes home, and basically, just says, what are you doing here? And they go, blah, blah, and what are you doing wearing, he gives me, what are you doing wearing my robe and all that. And so they have a discussion about the war and the possibility of war, and he gets all upset, and she gets upset actually because the fact that he basically insults her because he says that she's not fit to have a child or something like that, and so she wants him out. The Count wants him out, but he wants his robe back, but he says you can have the nightshirt. So he basically has to walk home in this really crazy nightshirt, this little crazy nightshirt, basically his underwear, I guess, and then so he goes back home, and Charlotte's, I think it's, who is it? Charlotte's mom? I think it's Charlotte's mom. Yeah, Charlotte's mom invites all the parties involved to their house to celebrate this thing called Midsummer Night, which is like this thing where I guess everybody stays up till the dawn or something like that. And meanwhile, Charlotte, who is the Count's wife, she gets jealous that she gets jealous of Desiree, and so but she knows full well about Desiree, and so she goes to tell Anne that goes to tell Anne because I guess they're friends. She goes to tell Anne that that Frederick was with Desiree the other night, and so she gets a little upset at that as well, and so everybody comes to this dinner, and oh god, and this is the one thing that kind of was a little bizarre. The mother serves this wine, and she says, it's supposed to be like a rumor, it's supposed to be like some kind of plot, it's supposed to be like just a thing, but she says that it's puts is a drop of the breast milk from a young woman and the seed of a stallion, which to me translates to titty juice and horse sperm. So I was like, and so every time they sap this, I'm like, Jesus H. It was just like, it was gross. And it was just like, so yeah, I was like, that was a little gross, but at the same time, so anyway, after they all drink, Henrik gets upset. He gets pissed off and everything, and he starts off all this drama with everybody, and he actually wants to go kill himself. But so they try to calm him down. I'm trying to think what happens next. But yeah, so anyway, they all go off to bed or something. And so from what I can remember, Anne goes to bed, and she goes to bed in the other room, in this room, and Henrik is in the room next to her. And earlier on in the movie, it was explained that there's this explained by I forgot what is his name, Petra, the Frederick's maid, falls in love with Fried, who's the maid of, I think, Desiree's mom or something like that. He's the servant there. And so the two of them kind of conspire together, and they have little discussions and all that. And so he tells her about the room that Henrik's currently in, and there's a button that if you push the button, the bed from the other room slides into the other room, and like this little like canopy drops down, and this little angel plays a trumpet, you know. And it was supposed to be for like the king or something like that, for like to gain his mistress in or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, Henrik smashes his head or hand against the thing, and Anne comes, you know, sliding in, and it's this moment that they realize, you know, that he realizes that, you know, he's you know, that he can't hold his feelings for her any longer, and he's in love with her, and so he says, you know, hey, you know, he wakes her up and they fall in love, and so they run off and get married, even though she's still married. And so Petra and Fried help her. Frederick sees this and is noticeably upset, of course. And so he goes to see Charlotte because, you know, for comfort. And Malcolm is upset. You know, Malcolm and Desiree tells Malcolm that the two of them are together. And so he gets upset. He goes off to the little court place, like a garden area or something like that, where they are. And he challenges Frederick to a game of Russian roulette. And so they sit and play. Charlotte and Desiree, you know, stand outside and wait for it to be over. And then eventually you hear a gunshot. Malcolm comes out and stands victorious. And at first Desiree and Charlotte are, you know, grief-stricken. However, Malcolm begins to laugh and reveal that the gun was only filled with soot, with just gunpowder. There wasn't a bullet in it. So basically, all Frederick got was a blast of black powder, you know, to his face. So that's basically it. And so Charlotte and Malcolm, you know, kind of make up, you know, and his love for her has been, you know, rejuvenated and all that. And Desiree goes to console Frederick, and it looks like they are going to get together, and so yeah, the final word is like basically just between Petra and Fried, who explain the title, Smiles of a Summer Night. Like every night has a smile, like there's multiple smiles, and I guess every smile is between the three couple. There are three smiles between each couple that was brought together. You know, Henrik and Anne, Malcolm and Charlotte, and Desiree and Frederick. You know, and then maybe there's. I mean, I don't think they mentioned a fourth one for Petra and Fried, but you know. Anyway, that's the basic. That's the movie. It's not a bad film. I wasn't crazy about it, but I really enjoyed just watching seeing a different side of Bergman. That was a treat. So yeah, this isn't bad. I would give it a, still, I think that term, I mean, the fact that I cringed at what they were drinking was, yeah. And yeah, it was still a little hard to follow, but I got the gist of it. You know, I think I got the gist of it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a B+. Give it a B+. Not bad. Yeah, not too long. Great. I mean, I just wish it were maybe a little funnier. You know, a little maybe a little more physical comedy. You know, I'm a fan, obviously, for liking Monsieur Hulot's Holiday. So yeah, maybe I would like a little of that. I mean, the scene where Frederick falls in the puddle was hilarious, but yeah, a lot of it just kind of just wasn't as hilarious as I thought it would be. So. But we are talking about Bergman, so anyway. B+, Smiles of Summer Night, good movie. All right, introduction. There's an introduction, Bergman talking about it, and that's the thing. Like I watched this after it because a lot of the introductions that we get in these Criterion things are basically spoilers. They're basically introductions, and the directors talk about these movies as if you've seen them. I haven't seen any of these movies, you know. So I don't want to see an introduction that basically spoils the whole plot for me. I did that with one of the early films. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, no, I just remember watching like, wait, you're talking about key scenes. Wait, I want to see this for myself. I don't want to see an analysis of it and then go see the film, and then have these words echo in my head. I want to make my own interpretations of it first, But Bergman doesn't do that. I mean, Bergman just kind of just talks a little bit. I mean, he talks a little bit about it, but at the same time, he he just keeps it brief. Keeps it brief. So I should, from now on. I mean, I don't know how many of these introductions he did for. He did them for a couple. I know I've seen these introductions where he's sitting in the movie theater and he says roll it at the end. So these aren't bad introductions. So I'm gonna I'm hopefully the next one we have, which I don't know which one it is. Which one is next? What's the next Bergman movie we have? Do we have another Bergman movie this season? I can't remember. Smiles of Summer Night. And what's next? Oh God, Fanny and Alexander. Oh no. Oh God, it's like 5 hours long. Screw it. Well, we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, so then there's also a conversation, interview between Peter Cowie, Bergman guy, and the writer and executive producer of Fanny and Alexander, Jorn Donner, and they talk about Bergman and Smiles of a Summer Night, and they discuss scenes and dialogue and things like that. So not bad. And then there's the trailer. The trailer's really cool. I mean, it gets you in, like discussing all the characters and all that. It's a very lighthearted, trailer as well. So, yeah. So anyway, that's all I can say about that. Smiles of a Summer Night, B+, good movie. All right, so next, and when I say next, I mean soon. The next video you see, it's a twofer. We're gonna knock this bad movie out of the way, and I say bad movie, in the process of believing that this will be bad because it's Godard. And it probably is. So anyway, so yeah, so a twofer today, because this is a short movie, so we'll get this one knocked out in a couple minutes. And yeah, so anyway, we'll see you. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Morals: don't drink wine with titty juice and horse sperm in there. Yeah, that's basically it. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a few hours for Woman is a Woman. And until then, goodbye.